Hey guys, welcome back to Media Talks TV with Tony J. This is going to be another episode. I hope everybody is enjoying this crazy heat that we're having. We're in a heat dome, and I hope everybody's enjoying their 4th of July weekend. Of course, you know, everybody on the internet is talking about Faizon Love. And I wanted to do this video really to talk about a big issue right now happening really in the media space, but also talking about Black Hollywood. And I'm noticing a lot of things that are going wrong, but it's just par for the course. As you know, everybody on the internet is talking about Faizon Love being broke and homeless. And it just seems like every black entertainer that we have grown up with and grown to love, we're not, as people, we're not coming to the cold hard truth that some of our greatest actors, singers, people that we listen to and grow up with are falling on hard times. And most of the time you don't know it because on the outside it looks like they have everything together. But then you realize these same people that look like they have it all are actually in the midst of being financially broke. I remember seeing Darius McCray, Eddie Winslow. We all grew up, we all love the whole Eddie Winslow character because he was the personification of cool on television. So, of course, we see the pictures. Every last one of these black male celebrities got child support issues. Can't pay off their child support debt. Just last year, this man had to flee the country to avoid being prosecuted. Now, it says a lot about somebody. Well, they say he didn't flee the country, he turned himself in. But still, all these guys that we grew up, former 90s stars, are all either they're broke or they're in jail on some back taxes and some child support shit. You know, last week it was Carlo Mencia being accused of not paying his taxes. But but the thing that gets me is how they portrayed Faizon Love on in the media. and it's really fucked up. And I looked at it and I was like, damn, they really put this man's business all out there. Headline said former Elf actor in prison for back child support, or something close to it. And I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, why does this keep happening? And it's a pattern. It's a pattern with a lot of black male actors that, you know, that we see. But it's also something problematic too about the United States and how we value people based on their money or whether or not they have any money. And I just feel as though there's a few unfortunate truths that we have to start accepting. And that is all of our favorite actors ain't rich. Most of them are just keeping up appearances in the media. And with social media being a thing now, and all these vlogs like Vlad TV and and Say Cheese and a lot of these other interview vlogcasts, podcasts and stuff like that. It helps. You're seeing the old guard die out when it comes to celebrity. A lot of the black celebrities that we knew growing up in the 90s are no longer relevant. When you think about it, when's the last time you saw Tay Diggs in a real in a movie? Nobody talks about Tay Diggs. You know why? Because Tay Diggs is over 50 years old now. Terrence Howard. His last interview that I saw Terrence Howard in was with Valuetainment, Patrick Bet David. I don't know what the hell's going on with Terrence Howard, but he was an A-lister for a minute. A lot of these actors and actresses that were A-list superstars, some of them you don't know either living out of hotel rooms or either they're not managing their finances. But on the outside, it looks like they're just trying to keep up appearances. So many of us gauge what a person has based on money and the value and the cars that they have. And sometimes people live ahead of their means because they're out there trying to impress somebody else. And the truth is, you're finding out that these people are going broke just to try and impress people that will never appreciate them. And unfortunately, so many of our entertainers, whether you're a comedian or actor, a lot of them are going hungry right now because of the transition of Hollywood. You know, I remember how popular Faizon Love was after the Friday movie, but even further, his breakout role was the voice of Robin Harris on the animated movie Bebe's Kids. That's how we came to know Faison. Robert, he kind of got popping under Robert Townsend. And then he did Media Man. Then he went from that to do Friday, and then did Parenthood for maybe about 4 or 5 years, and then got his big breakout role, which was Elf, after doing a couple of small roles, Three Strikes and all that. But what's problematic, and I feel like the backlash is warranted. Um, he was on these podcasts year before last talking about other celebrities, talking about celebrities that were broke. And here we are, he's broke. And it's kind of a chilling effect about what society is starting to look like. Most of the people that you think are doing okay ain't really doing that good. And if you look at Black Hollywood is different from white Hollywood. Black Hollywood, if you could cross over, only a few cross over from Black Hollywood. Holly Berry was able to do it. Um, for a couple of years, uh, very few. Denzel was able to do it. Cross over from Black Hollywood to white Hollywood. Will Smith was able to do it successfully, despite that one incident. But so many other actors who do what we call B movies, they don't really cross over successfully. And when you're stuck doing small time roles, most of the time you don't you don't really get known very well. And some people do it, some people Faison is a prime example of that, where you could cross over for a little bit but then end up not really making anything out of it. Kevin Hart was able to make something out of being small time to going over. Brian Hooks, excuse me, Brian Hooks was able to, I mean, get that notoriety in Black Hollywood, but other than that, I don't think he did anything else besides that. Besides those movies, we didn't know him outside of that. I sure as hell didn't know him outside of I Got the Hookup, Three Strikes, and you know some of these small time actors and actresses. The tough thing about Black Hollywood is what they don't tell you. A lot of Hollywood actors, Black Hollywood actors, are still working regular jobs, but nobody would know that because nobody tells us these things, that they got to work regular jobs. You know, the guy that played Alvin off of Cosby Show, we seen where that went, but it opened up a door about actors being regular people, that it's not all celebrity hype, that they do work regular jobs like normal people. But the ones that try to live high off the hog ultimately end up homeless. You think about Red Fox, you think about Richard Pryor, all of these people we grew up listening to, watching on TV. Flip Wilson, at the height of his fame, yet lost it all, died broke and penniless, found gambling in a casino a few months before he died. And of course, it's troubling to see that, but it's the reality of things. One of the lessons that we could take away from this situation with Faison, because Faison has been in the media for the wrong reasons. Every time I look up, headline after headline, assault, assault, video of him dragging somebody in a hotel room, fighting somebody, in and out of jail for child support, sometimes DV. Crazy thing is, it's it's wild because this person was talking about other celebrities on podcasts, and now here he is going through the same struggles that every black actor has to go through. And sometimes we think being an actor or being an artist is going to get you all that major money. Sometimes when it, those roles are not the roles. um the funny thing about acting and being in the music world is you only get money unless you're working or touring. You know, there's no lasting value in it after that. Your whole being is tied to if you get a role. Some people are in between roles. Some people don't get as much exposure. It takes years and years and years and years to get exposure. And then when you do, you got to make sure you don't get those flops. And that's the reality of the Hollywood game. Another part of this lesson is be careful who you call broke. Be careful who you get on these platforms and tell somebody is broke or pocket watching somebody else, because you never know who watching your pockets, and you never know, one day you're up and then the next minute you're out. And that's the reality of everything in life. Be humble when you got it. Be humble. Be gracious when you get it. And then after that, make an exit plan. Because everybody don't stay at the top for the rest of their life. And that's the reality. Everything in life is temporary. Everybody don't stay at the top the way you think they gonna stay at the top. Even though everybody gives you the illusions that they always gonna be on top. Reality is it's not gonna be like that. I remember listening. I remember something that Biggie said. He said a long time ago in an interview. He said, "When I'm not hot, I gotta make sure I keep my money up, take care of my kids, and take care of my family. And that's the number one priority. Everybody thinks they're gonna be in the NBA for a long time until they shit get broken. Then they don't plan their exit strategy. They don't have an exit plan. They live high off the hog and they think they're gonna stay there. The reality is you never stay there. I remember when I was younger, we thought Cash Money Records was the richest people in the world because they showed all these big mansions on MTV Cribs. But the reality is those cribs were rented. Those cars were rented. It was just for appearances. Everything is a fucking illusion. And everything that we think we have, we don't keep. We're just stewards over the shit. And that's the reality. Be careful who you call broke. Because at some point, we all gonna be broke. And that's my take. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a comment in the comment box, hit the like, share. We got more videos coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned. This is Media Talks TV with your host, Tony J, and I'm out. Have a happy 4th of July weekend, people. Peace.